Bills Ravens. I know we'll talk about the Ravens in a second here, but like Bills Ravens is as good of a divisional matchup as you're ever going to find. Like, somebody pointed this out to me on Twitter, and I didn't have a great answer for it. Has there ever been this type of playoff game with two quarterbacks who are both, even early in their careers, relatively speaking, chasing a Super Bowl already? Because they always feel behind, right? Like we're always talking about Lamar hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, and Josh Allen hasn't made a Super Bowl yet, and all this kind of stuff, even though they're not even 30 years old. These two guys who are going to finish 1-2 MVP in some order, meeting with this huge legacy game. I can't, this is pretty unique for a divisional round matchup with just all of the storylines involved. I guess they might just be playing for the right to go get beat by Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game, but a really, really compelling matchup for next Sunday night.
Yeah, and look, again, I want to stress how good the Broncos defense is, because
very good. Yes.
When you look at the numbers here, Josh Allen was 20 of 26 for 272 yards with 2 touchdowns, no picks. Absolutely a clean game. Important to their, Khalil Shakir was the only wide receiver that picked up more than 4 looks out of it. He got 6 catches. Everybody else was 3 or less. So spreading the ball around, which is what he does, which is almost impossible to take down. And then at the same time, James Cook went 23 for 120. The team rushed 44 times for 210 yards. The final score could have been even more of a blowout. To your point, in the first half particularly, they were comfortable minimizing possessions. And when you minimize possessions, what you do is you put so much strain on your offense, you better be efficient. You better not settle for field goals, because we're not going to touch the ball very many times. But it was working because their defense managed to hold down the fort, right? But I think the effect of that over the course of 4 quarters is that by the time it got to the second half, you had a gassed Broncos defense that had been on the field for the entire time, just getting run all over. You see that and you think, look, I know that the game that we're going to see next week is Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. My real question on that is which one of these defenses is going to be able to handle just getting the snot kicked out of them every single running play, because these two offenses are not really Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. These two offenses are, we're going to destroy you with physicality, and the minute you commit to trying to slow that down, now our other world quarterback is going to make you decide whether you're going to defend him running or throwing. You're going to make the wrong decision, and they're going to make you pay. Like, this is such a wild formula for success, because I would argue that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson having 2 of the great seasons that we can ever remember, 2 great MVP candidates. But part of the reason they're great is their offenses are built to beat you a million different ways on top of just the quarterback. And we saw that this weekend. The 2 most dominant performances were from the 2 most complete offenses that also happen to have 2 amazing quarterbacks.
Yeah, and it's a great point in that both of these offenses are built to where the quarterback doesn't have to throw it 50 times. Like, that's just, they don't have to, because James Cook could get it done on the ground. Derrick Henry sure could get it done on the ground, but they can. You're right. If they need to go into a game and say, all right, well, this is a game where Josh is going to have to throw for 400 yards. Yep, he could clearly do that. Same with Lamar. So, yes, I think the way the Bills' offense has morphed since the middle of last season when they fired their offensive coordinator and brought on Joe Brady to really pound it on the ground and take some pressure off of Josh Allen. We always talk about, Josh Allen has to do everything. It's true to some extent, but that running game also takes a lot of pressure off of him. And I think that has really helped him grow as a player. That helped the Bills grow as a team, become a very, very strong Super Bowl contender this year. And yes, going into this game, we're going to talk about Lamar versus Josh and MVP and all this kind of stuff. When in reality, James Cook and Derrick Henry are just as big a deal to this game. Who can establish a ground game? Because once that starts to leak, once James Cook is running for 120 yards, you're done. Like that, you have no chance at that point, because you just have to worry about stopping that leak. And then Josh Allen's going to kill you. It's just a what do you do type of situation. That's what makes the Ravens so tough. That's what makes the Bills so tough. I thought that today was an excellent example of why the Bills are this complete. The defense was awesome. The running game helped out a lot. And then Josh Allen was just Josh Allen. Like, he wasn't Superman in this game, but you look at the stat sheet at the end and say, yep, that's an MVP candidate right there. So really, really impressive performance by the Bills.